Hello and welcome. I am absolutely thrilled to have you here with us today because, well, we are pulling back the heavy velvet curtain on literally one of the most famous buildings on the entire planet. When you think of London, right, you immediately picture those grand iron gates, the stoic guards in their bright red tunics, and that iconic balcony of Buckingham Palace. But what you see on the postcards, that's just a carefully curated facade. Today, we are going to explore the astonishing realities that are completely hidden from the public eye.
I really want you to take a second and just imagine this. You're a tourist. You're walking through those incredibly grand public halls, gazing up at the glittering chandeliers and all those historic portraits. But what you are completely unaware of is that there is a massive, self-sustaining, entirely secret world operating right beneath your very feet. It's a completely different reality happening concurrently with the public tours. So what exactly lies beneath this iconic royal residence?
Section 1. Beyond the famous facade.
Okay, let's dive into this timeline, because the spatial and historical evolution of this estate is truly fascinating. You know, the palace didn't just appear overnight as the massive complex we know today. It evolved. Actually, it started way back in 1703, simply as a private home for a guy named John Sheffield. Fast forward to 1837, and it becomes Queen Victoria's official palace. And it doesn't stop there. It continues to evolve even in modern times, like with the addition of a highly restricted helipad in the year 2000.
Section 2. A non-royal beginning. Section 3. Queen Victoria's grand expansion.
Let's take back to that very first point on our timeline for a second. The original structure on this legendary site wasn't even built for royalty at all. In 1703, it was constructed by John Sheffield, the Duke of Buckingham, who simply wanted a grand private townhouse. It's kind of crazy to think that the ultimate symbol of the British monarchy began as a standard aristocrat's private residence, right? But that all changed drastically when we move into the era of Queen Victoria. When she decided to make this her official royal residence, she initiated a massive series of transformations that fundamentally changed the architecture. She essentially turned a private estate into the sprawling official royal residence we recognize today. Now, when I say a massive expansion, I really want to hit you with the sheer scale of this property. 736. That is the number of rooms inside Buckingham Palace. Literally mind-boggling. Just try to visualize the architectural footprint required to house over 700 rooms under one continuous roofline right in the middle of London.
And what's really interesting is understanding what those rooms actually are. I mean, these aren't just hundreds of spare bedrooms for guests. The palace is a completely self-sustaining estate. It's a fortress. It is equipped to handle life-or-death situations without anyone ever needing to leave the grounds. Get this. Among those 736 rooms are some bizarre hidden amenities, including a fully equipped medical surgery room. Yes, they can perform actual medical procedures securely right within the palace walls.
Section 4. Hidden doors and tunnels. The architecture here is intentionally deceptive, designed specifically to separate the public-facing duties of the monarchy from their intensely private existence. And this brilliantly illustrates the stark contrast of life inside the palace. On one hand, you have the public experience, right? Waiting in long, winding tourist lines just to view the standard grand rooms that they actually allow you to see. But on the exact same day, in the exact same building, you have the royal experience, slipping through cleverly disguised hidden doors, which allows the family to move from room to room completely unseen by the public, or honestly, even the majority of their own staff.
But you know, the hidden doors on the main floors are just the tip of the iceberg. Look at this number, 2.5. Now this isn't the square mileage of the gardens out back. No, this is miles of underground space. There are literally 2.5 miles of secret underground passages right beneath the estate.
Just picture that for a second. An extensive 2.5-mile network of underground tunnels quietly connecting the entire estate. This massive, sprawling labyrinth means the royal family and top-tier security can traverse the property entirely underground. They can move around like ghosts, bypassing traffic, crowds, and any surface-level threats completely undetected by the world above.
Section 5. The basement bank.
Now let's take you even further underground, into those basements to uncover one of the most bizarre and highly exclusive secrets hidden beneath the palace. We've talked about medical rooms, we've talked about secret tunnels, but this next amenity really highlights just how self-contained their reality is. According to the source material, nestled deep down in the basement is something known as a mudra bank. Yep, you heard that right. It is a highly exclusive banking facility, essentially a royal ATM hidden away for the family's personal use. Think about the logistics of that for a second.
They don't just run out to the local high street to withdraw cash like the rest of us. They just take an elevator down to their very own privately stocked banking facility. And just to emphasize this point, this isn't for the staff and it is definitely not for the public. It is strictly restricted for the exclusive use of the royal family. Absolutely no one from the outside can access this ATM. It really stands as the ultimate symbol of their hyper-private, restricted reality. Literally everything they need is brought directly to them and secured behind locked underground doors.
Section 6. Modern Royal Additions.
Let's head back up to the surface and see how all of this builds into the modern era. We'll guide you back up from the basement, past the secret doors, and outside onto the restricted grounds. Because while the palace has centuries of history, it is not just a museum frozen in time. Not at all. It is a living, breathing estate that continues to evolve to meet the highly specific needs of its inhabitants today. So the crucial takeaway here is that they continue to build upon their private world. For example, to ensure rapid, secure, and entirely private transit, a highly restricted helicopter pad was built directly onto the palace grounds in the year 2000. This ensures they can travel in and out of the estate while completely bypassing the busy streets of London, maintaining that strict veil of privacy.
So, we've uncovered the surgery rooms, the miles of tunnels, the hidden doors, and the super private basement bank. But it really leaves you wondering, doesn't it? If a sprawling 736-room palace with a 2.5-mile underground network can keep these secrets for so long, what other undocumented mysteries remain hidden right now behind those heavily guarded gates? What else is operating just out of sight in the parts of the palace that history hasn't even documented yet? Thank you so much for joining me on this exploration. I hope this completely changes how you view this iconic landmark. Keep questioning, keep learning, and I'll catch you next time.